want privacy! We want privacy!
NBC has announced plans for a spin-off to the hit series Suits, which will be set in Los Angeles. It will focus on Meghan Markle's character's struggle to balance her legal career while also caring for an unemployed immigrant.
We want privacy! We want privacy!
Build electric cars, he's going to Mars. Why is he even involving himself with Twitter? It would be like if the Prince of England gave it all up just to marry an actor from Suits.
We want privacy! We want privacy! We want privacy!
Okay, then you must be in the national system. Oh yeah, is this you? Sorority girl, actress, influencer, victim.
Yeah, that's totally me! We want privacy! We want privacy!
Okay, I see. And then you added your husband to your friends and family account. You must be the royal prince, millionaire, world traveler, victim.
That's right! We want privacy! We want privacy! We want privacy! And you know what else? To hell with Canada! We are leaving! We'll go find some quiet place where we can be normal people! Come on, wife! We want privacy! We want privacy!
It was supposed to be a quiet comeback, but South Park just threw a grenade into Meghan Markle's Hollywood dreams, and insiders say she's unraveling behind the scenes. The moment word leaked that South Park was taking another brutal swing at Meghan Markle, panic reportedly exploded inside her Montecito compound.
You've lived a life with the royal family, you've had everything handed to you, but you say your life has been hard, and now you've written all about it in your new book, Where?
My name is Megan Sussex now. Call me Meghan Markle one more time, Mindy Kaling.
Yes, that's right, friend. You see, my wife and I are totally like, you should write a book because your family's like stupid and then so are like journalists.
According to multiple sources close to her team, Meghan is spiraling over the animated show's upcoming DEI special, one that insiders claim includes a vicious parody of her now infamous pregnancy twerking video. And this time, it's not just a joke, it's personal. Trey Parker and Matt Stone are going all in, mocking not just Meghan's image, but her entire brand strategy, with a sketch that some are already calling career wrecking.
So you hate journalists? That's right. And now you wrote a book that reports on the lives of the royal family. Right. So you're a journalist.
Any type of flower arranging is just telling a story. What story do you want to tell? Maybe leave the country. Maybe disown your dad. Be creative with it.
From secret legal threats to frantic phone calls to Paramount, Meghan's alleged attempts to shut the episode down are only fueling the fire. So what exactly is in this episode? And why is Meghan reportedly calling it a targeted attack? Let's break it down. Inside Montecito, the mood shifted from calm to crisis overnight. Staffers whisper that as soon as Meghan caught wind of the parody, tipped off by a sympathetic contact at Paramount, she plunged into damage control mode. One aide claims the Duchess convened an emergency Zoom at dawn, demanding to know whether her legal team could force a rewrite or at least delay the broadcast. Another insider says she paced her study for hours, fuming that the sketch crosses every line, portraying her as a fame-hungry actress willing to stage manage even the most intimate moment of motherhood.
Like the gross disrespect to the intimacy and privacy of marriage and childbirth. You know, there are some moments that are supposed to be between a husband and a wife only.
What matters is what we have on the inside.
It is the cringiest, most uncomfortable piece of tape I've seen in a long time.
Meanwhile, Trey and Matt, famous for steamrolling every cease and desist that lands on their desks, appear unfazed, quietly tightening jokes and polishing animation while Meghan's camp scrambles. The irony, according to Hollywood pundits, is that every frantic move only stokes the hype. Parody is protected, outrage is promo. Paramount, well aware of the ratings spike that followed South Park's last royal roast, is reportedly doubling down, slotting teaser assets, preparing social clips, and betting that Meghan's rumored fury will drive even the merely curious to tune in. For Meghan, whose brand depends on tight narrative control, the thought of a global audience laughing at an animated pillow bump is a nightmare in real time, one she may not have any legal or PR script strong enough to stop. Inside Meghan's circle, the scramble is apparently bordering on chaos. One consultant describes a whiplash week in which every morning begins with a new strategy, only for that plan to be tossed by lunchtime when fresh intel trickles in from Paramount. First came the idea of a quiet phone call to Trey Parker's agent, floated by a veteran PR hand who insisted personal outreach might appeal to basic decency.
Hello all, sorry we're late, our flight was delayed.
It was mint though. Tell them we were in mint.
They gave you a mint. How lovely. I have some gum in my purse if you'd like.
Oh, we were in mint. It's like their business class. It's really nice. And
Meghan, I'm begging you to stop now.
Meghan, your friends are so interesting. You have a lovely home.
Yes, it's Buckingham. Idiot. What a stupid thing to say.
That was reportedly shot down once the legal team reminded everyone South Park's entire brand revolves around daring anyone to try. By midday, another faction proposed a preemptive Instagram post framing Meghan as a champion for mothers everywhere, something heartfelt about protecting women from body shaming. But digital marketers warned that tone could backfire, making it look as though she's confirming the parody's sting. Meanwhile, lawyers drafted what sources call a courtesy letter, strong wording about reputational harm, thinly veiled threat of litigation, but even the most aggressive counsel conceded the fair use shield is ironclad. Within hours, the letter was downgraded to a statement of concern, then shelved altogether when a senior advisor asked if it might leak and fuel the episode's marketing. Staffers say the atmosphere feels like walking a tightrope over a bonfire. Every move risks feeding the very storyline Meghan wants to extinguish. Complicating matters, an insider claims Meghan reached out to a high-profile Hollywood mother who'd once faced late-night parody, seeking advice on whether to get ahead of it with a magazine essay. The response was allegedly blunt. Any reaction becomes punchline fodder, yet silence carries its own dread. One aide muttered that doing nothing feels like letting Trey and Matt dictate the narrative unchecked, something Meghan's never tolerated. Caught between a legal dead end and the Streisand effect, her team has begun exploring softer deflection tactics, uplifting charity announcements, surprise podcast drops, even talk of a baby-focused philanthropy event timed to eclipse the episode's release. But skeptics on the call reportedly asked the obvious: what if South Park mocks the pivot too? At that, the Zoom fell silent, mirroring the broader paralysis gripping Montecito.
It's so funny you keep saying Meghan Markle, you know it's Sussex.
It's important we do this ourselves, Harry, and not live off your family.
I agree. We'll just have to find a way to make £50 billion on our own.
Meghan, for now, is said to be rereading every draft statement, searching for an angle that won't hand South Park its next laugh track, yet each possibility seems to fold back into the same dilemma. How do you control a joke designed to explode the moment you touch it? Observers say the sting of this latest parody cuts deeper because it targets precisely what Meghan values most: curated control over her motherhood narrative. Friends insist she poured heart and strategy into that pregnancy video, choreographing it as a declaration of empowerment, authenticity, and reclaimed joy. To have South Park recast the moment as a staged pantomime, complete with a pillow bump and Cartman barking orders, reportedly feels like an invasion far worse than the privacy tour lampoon. Mock my brand deals, fine, she allegedly fumed to a confidant. But they're mocking motherhood itself. That emotional trigger, insiders speculate, explains the spiraling. In Meghan's mind, the skit undermines the very themes she's tried to champion: body autonomy, representation, feminist storytelling. The notion that Trey and Matt may insinuate her viral reel was scripted, multiple takes, lighting cues, faux tears, strikes at her credibility. Add in the cartoon Harry cameo, make it more empowering, and the satire morphs from playful jab to character assassination. Royal watchers point out she's always bristled at suggestions her public moments are choreographed. Seeing that suspicion animated for global laughs, unbearable. Yet South Park's genius has always been caricaturing public figures at the precise fault lines they're desperate to hide. The creators sense Meghan's Achilles heel is perception management. By lampooning her curated authenticity, they're not just teasing, they're ripping off the facade.
Welcome to my garden. Well, it's not my garden, it's a set actually, but welcome to my set.
Is this a wrinkle I see in my blouse? Who the ironed this? I told you to iron this shirt 10 times. It looks like you only ironed it 9.
Pundits predict the sketch will resonate because it mirrors what critics already mutter, that every Markle move feels market-tested, right down to the spontaneous baby bump boogie. For Meghan, the looming broadcast is thus more than satire. It's the risk of a meme she can't outspin. If the public sees her pregnancy dance as contrived, future projects framed as real and raw could be dismissed before they launch. And that's the spiraling point. This isn't simply a cartoon gag, it's a narrative virus ready to replicate across timelines, hashtags, and late-night monologues, infecting every brand conversation she's painstakingly scripted until now. Trey Parker and Matt Stone have thrived for nearly 3 decades by baiting outrage, then riding the backlash, straight to record ratings. They turned Scientology, Oprah, and even Muhammad into punchlines, shrugging off threats that would send most studios into panic mode. Every cease and desist, every celebrity meltdown only fattens their legend, and they know it. South Park is the rare franchise where the creators openly court legal dust-ups because the spectacle fuels viewership. A furious press release becomes free advertising. A threatened lawsuit is just a teaser trailer no marketing budget could buy. Insiders say the pair clocked Meghan's sensitivity the moment the Privacy Tour episode trended worldwide. They watched palace statements, spotted her lawyers, carefully worded objections, and sensed untapped comic gold. According to a source close to their writer's room, Parker quipped, "They hate it? Perfect. Let's push harder." Thus, the DEI special was born, not as a random jab, but as a calculated escalation. By doubling down with a parody of Meghan's pregnancy, an almost sacred territory in celebrity culture, they're daring her team to react, banking on the uproar to catapult the episode into must-see status.
Isn't it true, sir, that your questionable wife has her own TV show and hangs out with celebrities and does fashion magazines? What are you suggesting? Well, I just think some people might say that your Instagram-loving wife actually doesn't want her privacy. How dare you, sir? My Instagram-loving wife has always wanted her privacy!
Behind closed doors, South Park's legal consultants reportedly maintain a running checklist of fair use case law, ensuring each gag stays just shy of defamation. They storyboard every controversial frame with surgical precision, how long the fake baby bump appears, how clearly Cartman Kennedy shouts directions, how exaggerated the twerk animation needs to be, so viewers recognize parody instantly. It's a playbook honed over countless clashes, fine-tuned to maximize shock while minimizing lawsuit risk. That confidence terrifies Meghan's advisors. They know Trey and Matt are masters at surfing the edge of liability. Any legal volley will likely land in a shredder marked LOL before fueling the next punchline. Paramount, too, has learned the calculus. Executives remember the spike in subscriptions and social chatter after the Privacy Tour skewered the Sussexes. Every analyst memo apparently highlights a simple metric: controversy converts to clicks. The DEI special is already internally forecast to outperform standard episodes, precisely because Meghan's rumored panic is leaking. For the network, her outrage isn't collateral damage. It's part of the release strategy. The harder she pushes back, the more potent the promo. And Trey and Matt are scripted veterans of that loop, ready to turn each frantic phone call into an Easter egg for fans to spot in some future episode. Rumor has it Meghan's legal squad fired its first warning shot just hours after the South Park leak hit fan blogs. A tersely worded 4-page notice of concern that bristled with references to defamation, emotional distress, and potential harm to maternal well-being. Drafted overnight by a top Beverly Hills firm, the letter allegedly demanded Paramount provide advance footage for compliance review and consider excising any scene that manifests malice toward a protected health status. Lawyers speak for pregnancy.
Everyone says they don't have time to make homemade meals, but if you just have 3 nannies, 2 butlers, a housekeeper, a driver, and a full-time personal assistant, you have all the time in the world. Stop making excuses and start moving snacks from one bag to another.
It is elevating the ordinary little things. And who got the Kroger peanut butter? It's not even organic.
Insiders claim the document was couriered to the network's legal affairs office at dawn, stamped with a confidentiality watermark so aggressive it bled through the paper. But by midday, word of its existence had already leaked, first to a Hollywood trade outlet, then to an intrepid royal podcaster, and within hours, the hashtag #RespectOurParody was trending worldwide. Inside Meghan's camp, the leak felt like sabotage. Some staff suspected Paramount deliberately tipped off entertainment reporters to make the Duchess look litigious. Others whispered about a disgruntled junior aide tired of crisis mode. Either way, the effect was immediate. South Park writers, allegedly monitoring Twitter in real time, began riffing on the phrase maternal well-being and brainstorming ways to slip it into the final cut as an on-screen Chiron gag. Meghan's attorneys, realizing the notice had backfired, debated whether to escalate with a formal cease and desist. Cooler heads pointed out the futility. Parody is ironclad under U.S. law, and Trey and Matt relish courtroom spectacle almost as much as shock comedy. One senior partner reportedly sighed, "You never sue the jester who builds his stage in the courthouse lobby." Meghan, however, was not ready to retreat. Sources say she authorized a secondary tactic, lobbying sympathetic UK outlets to reframe the episode as a potential hate speech issue, arguing that mocking a pregnant woman's body ventures beyond fair criticism into gendered harassment. A draft op-ed circulated among friendly columnists, but editors hesitated, wary of looking like pawns in a transatlantic free speech fight. Meanwhile, Meghan's crisis consultants floated softer options. Perhaps a discreet call to Paramount's parent company mentioning future philanthropic partnerships at risk. Yet each gambit carried the same peril: leak it, and South Park will lampoon it by sunrise. By week's end, legal maneuvers had achieved the opposite of their aim. The episode's PR pre-buzz had tripled, and Meghan's notice of concern had become another punchline in online meme culture. For a duchess who once vowed never to be silenced, the cruel irony was clear. Every attempt to muzzle the cartoon only amplified its volume, leaving her team searching for a new, less combustible strategy.
Hey, lowly cameraman, come over here and try some fried chicken. Try the fried chicken. Try the fried chicken. We need to make it look like I actually care about my camera crew. Come get some fried chicken. Act like you're having fun. Act like you're having fun.
I want my home to feel welcoming. Do you feel welcome? Does my soundstage welcome you? Mindy and I are such great friends, like besties. Like, I love her. Like, she doesn't know my name, but we're best friends.
Paramount's executives aren't just shrugging off Meghan's pushback, they're turning it into a marketing masterclass. Within hours of the leaked notice of concern, the network's social listening dashboard lit up like a Christmas pinball machine. Mentions of South Park spiked. Sentiment swung from neutral curiosity to gleeful anticipation, and clip-hungry entertainment sites started begging for exclusives. According to staffers in the streaming division, one VP cracked a grin, tapped a conference room whiteboard, and scrawled, "Leverage the letter." That phrase became the day's rallying cry. By lunchtime, a skeleton teaser plan had morphed into a 3-phase rollout: sly 10-second character animations, a mock PSA about respecting creative freedom, and a timed tweet storm the moment Meghan's legal correspondence hit the trades. The internal goal: amplify the buzz without appearing to bait the Duchess outright. In reality, employees say, the line between promotion and provocation was intentionally blurry. Behind closed doors, Paramount's legal arm double-checked every frame of the pregnancy sketch, cross-referenced it with decades of fair use precedent, and greenlit it with almost giddy relief. No edits required. One in-house counsel reportedly quipped, "She can't silence commentary on a public video she posted herself." Meanwhile, the marketing brass weighed a cheeky tagline, "Empower your laughter," for the DEI specials trailer, ultimately shelving it when someone joked Meghan's camp would claim the phrase mocked her empowerment brand. Even so, they held on to the concept for possible guerrilla merch, limited-run tees emblazoned with Cartman Kennedy's silhouette, and the slogan, "Respect our parody." If the episode lands as big as analytics predict, those shirts might drop mere hours after airing. Internal emails reveal executives are also courting influencers who once partnered with Meghan's wellness line, dangling early screener access in exchange for reaction videos. The strategy? Turn former allies into neutral commentators, letting them dissect the satire without appearing malicious. Paramount figures that if wellness bloggers publicly laugh, the broader audience will follow. In the risk assessment deck circulated to the C-suite, the largest threat isn't legal. It's Meghan releasing her own footage or heartfelt statement before premiere night, potentially diffusing suspense.
Why are there so many people in our car?
It's not a car, Harry, it's a bus.
And why does it smell?
We're going to work, Harry, because HGTV canceled our show and we need money.
You can't get work acting, so now you're teaching it, which kind of makes sense and kind of doesn't.
So let's take a bite of this. This sandwich tastes like shit, Mindy.
To hedge, the network has locked mid-July for its first teaser and embargoed episode stills until 48 hours before air date. As one marketing director summed up in a Slack thread, "She's playing defense, we're playing launchpad, every panic headline is free airtime, so let's keep it rolling." While Meghan's team battles Paramount in broad daylight, Prince Harry is said to be fighting a subtler war, one waged in early morning calls to London advisors and late-night whispers to Montecito confidants. Sources close to the Duke claim he's torn between empathy for his wife's distress and dread of another global punchline featuring Prince Ginger, flubbing stage directions for a fake baby bump. Harry reportedly fears the sketch will resurrect every meme from South Park's first royal roast, just as he's been inching toward cautious reconciliation with King Charles. Word is he's already received a terse message from a senior courtier reminding him that any fresh mockery of the monarchy, no matter how animated, will complicate optics ahead of a rumored memorial service appearance this winter. Insiders say Harry vented to a former military buddy that the show makes him look like an idiot with a clipboard, undermining the gravitas he's tried to rebuild through veterans' work and mental health panels. That friend allegedly advised him to embrace the humor, warning that a public sulk would confirm South Park's caricature. But Harry's no stranger to reputational whiplash. He knows clips of a cartoon prince coaching a twerk sequence will ricochet across social feeds. cut into montages with book excerpts and Oprah sound bites, and feed the tabloids for months. Privately, he's said to worry the episode will reopen old wounds with William, who, palace insiders whisper, found the first parody uncomfortably accurate and won't resist a smug grin if Harry stumbles again. Yet pushing back risks collateral damage. Meghan's advisors want a unified front. Any sign of Harry urging restraint could leak as division. According to one Montecito staffer, he floated a compromise. Issue a measured statement condemning misogyny and comedy while praising free speech, then pivot to Invictus promotion. The idea stalled when Meghan's core team argued it sounded like capitulation. Now Harry's stuck in limbo, draft apology to no one, or silent witness to a storm that may splash mud on every Windsor crest. Either path feels dangerous, and confidants say the Duke's nightly jogs have grown longer, earbuds blasting mindfulness podcasts that can't quite drown out the incoming laughter he fears is already scripted in South Park's final cut.
And of course, our fuckacia bread isn't complete without our flour sprinkles. Flour sprinkles! You know you've made it when you've acquired a huge fan base of bullies. Hashtag Sussex Squad.
Could it be? A mystery for the ages.
Word of the parody spread across social media like wildfire and dry brush, igniting meme factories and sparking dueling hashtags before a single frame had aired. The minute a Hollywood gossip account leaked that Meghan's pregnancy twerk was about to be lampooned, Twitter split along familiar fault lines. Respect Our Parody rocketed up the trending board, propelled by users posting doctored gifs of Cartman moonwalking next to a CGI baby bump. Within hours, a rival hashtag, Mockery is Misogyny, emerged, with defenders insisting South Park had crossed into humiliation fetish territory by dragging a mother's body for laughs. That clash became fertile ground for viral reaction videos. TikTok comedians choreographing their own bump boogies, lifestyle influencers analyzing the ethics of parody between unboxing segments, even a sober media professor stitching clips to frame the debate as the culture war in miniature. What really set the internet ablaze, though, were the leaked storyboard sketches. Grainy phone photos, allegedly snapped during a Paramount sound mix review, hit Reddit, showing Cartman Kennedy yelling at a flustered red-haired prince about empowerment angles. The subreddit South Park burst into speculative glee, dissecting every doodle like conspiracy theorists poring over crop circles. Fan artists pumped out mock posters within minutes, one depicting Meghan in full hospital regalia, tiara balancing atop her IV drip, while Kyle held a clapperboard reading, "Take 97. Each post pulled more eyes, each eye another potential viewer. Influencers who once basked in Meghan's glow felt the pull of easy clicks. A wellness coach previously paid to promote her lavender drinks uploaded a reaction reel titled, "I love Meg, but this is hilarious," hitting 1 million views in a day. A mid-tier fashion blogger admitted she'd declined an A's Ever collab, yet still couldn't resist posting a side-by-side of the real pregnancy dance in South Park storyboard, captioned, "Spot the difference." Some fans chided her for disloyalty, but brand engagement dashboards showed her reach spiking, proof that controversy sells better than any sponsored jar of raspberry spread. The more Meghan's sympathizers begged for restraint, the louder the jokes grew, fed by an algorithm that smells outrage the way sharks smell blood. Each plea to leave pregnant women alone became screenshot fodder for snark accounts. Each angry DM leaked by a blue-check journalist fueled another round of hot takes. By week's end, the episode's fan-made countdown clocks sat atop TikTok's For You pages, ticking toward August with a beat that even Montecito's crisis phones couldn't drown out.
When was the last time you twerked, Alex?
I don't think I've ever twerked in my life.
You must have.
Really? I genuinely mean that. If there's any footage that ever comes out of me twerking, I'll pay for all your pints one night. How about that?
Meghan, she's an American celebrity, so I can kind of forgive her for it.
It's definitely her idea,
she's like, Prince Harry is a prince of the realm. You imagine the centuries of history and tradition in this country, the respectful organisations that he was or is an ambassador of, the military, and you're behaving like that and happy to release it in public. I mean, it's just so demeaning.
Yeah, she's a narcissist and he's quite thick.
Behind Montecito's gates, advisors are drafting 2 stark playbooks, one titled Counter-Strike, the other Strategic Silence, each outlining what happens the morning after South Park's special airs. The Counter-Strike faction wants Meghan to seize the microphone, with a polished op-ed in a prestige outlet, framing the parody as proof women's bodies remain fair game for mockery. The piece, insiders say, would weave in statistics on online harassment, position Meghan as a case study, and end with a rallying cry for dignity in digital satire. They argue sponsors love purpose, and a values-driven clapback could pull wellness partners back to the table, maybe even re-energize as ever if bundled with a charity pledge. But skeptics warn the move risks looking calculated, rolling activism and product placement into the same package. The very fusion South Park skewers. The strategic silence camp thinks any response is self-sabotage. Their slide deck cites past targets, Scientology, Kanye, even Prince himself, showing search interest graphs that spike only when victims talk back. Let the episode trend for a news cycle, they insist, then fade. In the meantime, pivot hard. Leak upbeat footage from an upcoming children's literacy drive. Book Meghan on a feel-good podcast about motherhood truths. Drop a low-key as-ever restock of something uncontroversial, like herbal tea. If questions arise, offer no comment, focusing on positive impact. The hope is outrage fatigue. Audiences move on, sponsors breathe easier, and Meghan re-enters the feed holding story time books instead of legal briefs. Hampering either plan is cash. Marketing resets cost money, and as Ever's coffers, already stretched, can't bankroll both crisis PR and a splashy philanthropy push. One insider claims a bridge-round pitch deck, seeking fresh investors with language about resilience after cultural headwinds, has circulated quietly, but financiers want proof Meghan can weather satire without melting down. A potential silent partner reportedly asked, if she's rattled by a cartoon, how will she handle a TikTok pile-on? Amid the debate, a third whispered option surfaces. Lean into the joke. An edgy cameo on a rival sketch show. A self-deprecating TikTok duet. Own the parody and flip public sentiment. It's risky. Meghan's brand rests on polished poise, not punchlines. Yet some advisors argue relatability is the ultimate currency, and nothing says, I'm unfazed, like laughing at yourself before the crowd does. Whichever path she chooses, one truth lingers. The next move will define whether Meghan's empire emerges recalibrated or whether South Park's laugh track becomes the soundtrack to a long, slow brand fade out. August is creeping closer. The DEI special is locked, and every tick of the countdown amplifies a dilemma no publicist script can mute. Does Meghan Markle meet the satire head-on, vanish until the storm passes, or execute the rarest trick in modern celebrity, turning humiliation into humanity without sacrificing authority? Whatever she chooses, the stakes are suddenly bigger than a single animated jab. If the episode lands and Meghan's only move is fury, it cements the South Park caricature of a woman who craves attention yet can't weather its cost. If she claps back with a high-gloss op-ed, critics will say she's monetizing calamity, while fans beg her to let comedy roll off her shoulders. And if she opts for silence but, as ever, stumbles again, the narrative curdles into a tale of a duchess hiding from a punchline she secretly fears is true. Paramount's marketers already smell a record night. Trey Parker and Matt Stone are sharpening frames for maximum memeability. Influencers have drafted reaction thumbnails before the first frame airs. Even Harry's private anxieties, phone calls to Britain, Long Beach runs, whispered fears of renewed Windsor Snickers could resurface in tabloid sidebars the moment the credits roll. Meanwhile, investors eye Meghan's next pivot as a verdict on resilience. Can a brand built on curated authenticity survive being lampooned as scripted artifice? If she finds a way to laugh first, or better, profit from the laugh, she might yet prove South Park an unexpected springboard. If she missteps, the Duchess risks letting a cartoon define her for a generation raised on viral snippets. So now the spotlight swings to you. If South Park's parody drops exactly as rumored, do you think Meghan should strike back with a public statement, or let the episode crash, burn, and disappear without her oxygen? And beyond the PR chess match, does mocking a pregnancy video cross the satire line, or is all fair in the arena of public image? Drop your take below, smash that like if you're here for every explosive twist, and subscribe so you never miss the next deep dive update. The video queued up on your screen is primed to spill the very latest, and trust me, you won't believe what's coming next.